Lornets.
Yeah.
And welcome to the League, exploring the League of Legends lore from A to Z. My name is Rebecca.
And I'm John.
My name is Mark.
You were so happy about it today. That was just, you always say it the same way every time. And you were like, Vex? No. My name is Mark.
We're going to bring a little
counteract that
optimism
energy.
into the, yeah.
That's true. You're drinking out of a very adorable cup, too, right now, which I love.
Thank you. It's got wine in it. But you can't tell. It could be
T-X
anything.
special.
You got that from me and your wife, drinking wine out of a teacup. You're welcome. That was our thing. Anyway, today we're talking about the Gloomist Vex, who was released September 23rd, 2021.
Yeah,
Our girl.
very new.
Yeah, right
Yeah.
in the middle of the world's best event.
Sure.
Not quite as in the middle as she was supposed to have been, which is some fun facts incoming.
Oh, she delayed?
Yeah, won't that be fun? Yeah.
I'll bet.
Yeah, I kind of remember that. It was weird. That was a weird thing.
It's a weird
many
time.
weird things. Yeah, it was a weird time.
The dark times.
Yeah, we try not to think about them. Unfortunately, I feel like we're going to think about them a lot today.
Are we just talking about COVID? What? No?
Worse.
Something.
Sentinels of
We have
light.
to say even worse.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
You wish we were talking about
I was
COVID.
like, I thought she was delayed because of COVID, and I'm like, I guess that makes sense. And I was just so confused by the way you kept. It was like you were kind of joking about it, and I was like, guys, this is not
This was
a joke.
You're right. Rise of
COVID
the
is still
Sentinels was very.
killing people. But yeah, Rise of the Sentinels. Okay, I'm on board now. I'm with you. What does Vex
Like,
sound like?
Rise of the Sentinels, not a laughing matter. Okay.
Yeah, COVID, hilarious. I'm just kidding. Please don't.
What does Vex?
Please don't
sound
take that out of context. I feel
Do
like
it,
this is
clip
what the
it.
Lord heads think of COVID.
Cancel us.
Please cancel us. Anyway, Vex. Here we go. Man, walking sucks.
I feel like you've
I
got
love her.
quite a bit of Vex inside of you.
I do. Vex was who I was at 15. If you were wondering what high school Rebecca was, it was Vex. And I was friends with other Vexes.
That doesn't seem very Vex-like.
Right.
It's true. It's because I
What's the
wasn't really
plural of-
Vex. Vexi.
Vex. Yeah. I'm trying to channel a little bit here. There are people here. Great.
Shadow, carry me.
Oh, good. That was a good Vex.
John with the yordles, as always. Well, on the right,
A
universe
one-man
page,
yordle band.
it's just him doing all the yordle impressions, one right after the other.
A little one-man show. I love it.
I'd actually love if you were to do like a song and it would be a bunch of yordles and you just had to switch between the different yordle voices as you were
Hilarious.
singing.
Ooh, man.
It'd be funny if there was one just super deep voiced yordle.
That'll be the one you can't do. Maybe it'll be in Bandle Tale. That'll be like the joke. Is this one like cutesy little yordle comes out and they're like, "Hey,
I'd love it.
hey, you Lulu!"
Barry. I was thinking Barry White. You went in a very different direction.
I always go to New
You always
Yorker.
go to New York.
Yeah, it's the Jerseyan in me.
It's gonna be so long before I play Bandle Tale. I'm so bummed.
You'll just watch me play it.
Riot, why are
Yeah.
you releasing Bandle Tale 7 days before Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? Come on now. There should be no games coming out around Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. You know what the world's gonna be doing.
Because some of us don't care about Final Fantasy VII.
Not true. Everyone cares.
I mean, wonder how much overlap there is between the Bandle Tale audience and the Rebirth audience.
John,
This guy.
I know it's you. Yeah. I feel like it's
Isn't
more than
that
you
the
think.
only audience that matters?
Hard to argue with that.
Anyway, she has a bio and a short story on the right universe page.
Both by John O'Brien.
Oh, okay. Nice. Thank you. Well, as for the bio, I didn't take notes, but I think I could do it. Vex was a emo yordle in Bandle City. Not
Very
a
much
normal
not
one
a
at all.
normal yordle.
No,
Yeah.
so different. Not like the other yordles. This yordle is a bummer, and she just hid in her room, in her baggy black sweater that she like punched holes in that her thumbs could go through. I bet. While listening to The Cure, I don't know.
Evanescence posters on the wall.
Evanescence, yeah.
MCR. Yeah, you could take your pick, right?
I was more of a goth Vex and not an emo one. I didn't like the emo.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah. So it would have been like Disturbed, Slipknot,
Corn.
Corn.
You got very hardcore.
I was a really
well, Avenged
hardcore.
Sevenfold, even.
No, I didn't get that. Rammstein, you know. Anyway, she spent her days there wondering if she would just be surrounded by rainbows and happiness all the time when there was a harrowing. All the other yordles were petrified, but she was like, this is my shit. Let's go. She followed that harrowing all the way to the Shadow Isles, and then she decided that was it. That's where she was staying. That's her favorite place in the world.
My people.
My people. I found them. None of them are alive. I love it.
People.
Yeah. Eventually, she bumped into Viego, and she fell in love instantly. Decided, this guy's it. I'm going to destroy the world with him. He wants to spread the mist all over the world, make everything a big, sad place. But then she realized he was doing it for love. Ugh. Gross, Viego.
Disgusting.
Absolutely disgusting. So she left him to be destroyed by the Sentinels of the Light, and then went back to the Shadow Isles, and that is where she still remains. She also does have the ability to spread gloom. That's kind of what the Shadow Isles did. I just kind of took away her whole her whole story. That's what happens when I don't take notes. Her only friend in Bandle City was her shadow.
Which was just kind of a normal shadow.
It was just her normal shadow.
Like normal shadow.
Yeah, it was just her shadow. But she was like, you're like me. And then when she spent enough time in the Shadow Isles, it corrupted her. And now her yordle magic has become very dark and gloomy. And her shadow has a mind of its own now. A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why Viego initially wanted to use her, because she could kind of make people miserable. She's an energy vampire, I guess. Basically. Is kind of what it sounds like.
Basically, yeah.
She makes people feel miserable about themselves, and then it makes them much easier to ruin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's Vex.
Yeah.
That's Vex.
Yeah.
It is Vex. You left out my favorite bit of the bio, which is the very end, which is almost like a tiny little short story where she's like, well, now that Viego's gone, the only thing I can think to do is go back home and wallow in how much my parents don't like me.
I was thinking about it too. Like earlier, I was like, man, I can't wait to talk about that. And I fucking forgot about it. She decided to, in order to spread misery, she'd go home and show her parents what she's become. Like, look at this disgusting being before you. And they were like, this is weird, Vex, but we love you so much, no matter what. And she was like, y'all are nasty. And she left. Oh, my heart. Poor Vex's parents.
I have the quote here.
Oh,
too.
Okay. It wasn't y'all are nasty?
It was very
Y'all nasty.
Okay. Y'all are nasty.
Like, y'all need Jesus.
Except not. Y'all need Satan.
Yeah.
Honey, we don't understand this, said her mother, motioning with her finger at Vex's entire being. But we love you unconditionally, said her father. And if you're happy, we're happy for you. Rolling her eyes, Vex released a loud, exasperated sigh. You guys are the worst! Which, it's very cute. Although this phrasing would imply that they're not happy, because Vex isn't happy. So really, Vex should be happy that they're not happy. But then that would... In that case, that would make them happy, which, I feel like a paradox like this would be right up Lulu's alley.
Oh no, I've gone cross-eyed.
Oh, it would. Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do we all feel about Vex? I had an idea for her. It's definitely dated right away with their use of normies.
Yeah. I still don't like normies. It's fine. It's whatever. It's they used it once. It don't matter. I like the idea of her a lot, and I like the bit at the end the most, I think, because that's the most that has, like, I don't know, it's just a fun little character that they had that little scene in there. Bios don't normally do that, which was kind of fun.
Yeah.
I feel like they really glossed over one of the most surprising bits of this for me, which is like, how the fuck that heroine get to Bandle City?
Oh, yeah.
What fucking portal was that shit creeping through?
I don't know. You would think that'd be a pretty world changing thing because Bandle City's pretty unreachable. You're right, because I almost like kind of forgot that even happened. It's like, oh yeah, that was a big thing. I don't know. It's just a vehicle for her to become the Gloomist, right? Like, I think that's the thing, is that there's no real lasting impact of it.
No, I mean, they could have easily just had her leave Bandle City. Like, why didn't she ever leave Bandle City before then? She would have found plenty of misery just in, like, Bilgewater. Like, she didn't have to go.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You throw a rock, you're going to hit someone who's miserable because they just got hit by a rock or whatever.
Is that a Texas thing? I've never in my life.
Yeah, sure, fuck it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Can that
he had
be
some
the
line
next
about her.
T-shirt? Or a rock. You're gonna find someone who's miserable because they just got hit by a rock. Anyway,
I feel like to that point too, there is literally a quote that said, "Alone once more, she watched in disappointment as the world returned to the bright, colorful place she had always hated." And like, I don't think she's been to the rest of the world. Like, she's been a Bandle City gal up until the mist came around.
Yeah.
she happened to go to like Piltover on its greatest day, like when they're doing their
Progress
celebration.
day. Yeah.
And Bilgewater was like the one quiet day where like Gangplank was still dead and Miss Fortune was having a nap or something.
That'd be kind of funny. I would love Vex's world tour, but she's accidentally showing up on everyone's best day.
Oh, I love that. This kind of like parallels her to Vagar in a way a little bit, who wants so desperately to be evil, but he's doing good. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So the fact that they said upon meeting Vex, Viego realized the Yordle had a unique ability to spread despair, making people more vulnerable to his harrowing. Which, like, this is a detail I feel that was significantly left out of the Sentinels.
Yes, because I could have gotten on board with some of the people becoming ruined if, Vex was around as well.
Yeah, we had a lot of discussion around, like, how the fuck did Viego overpower this person? How did Viego overpower this? Like, how did he awaken a god? How the fuck?
Yeah.
And I feel like I would have been more understanding to it if the whole thing had been like, oh, yeah, okay, he's only able to do it because Vex is there really fucking digging in on insecurities that really let him...
Yeah.
That's how we got into Karma's head and all that shit. Like, because we know that Pantheon's got a lot of insecurities locked up in there.
Vex starts talking about his horrible cookies and bread.
It's, when you say it out loud, it's like, wow, that feels like a massive missed opportunity. Because like in the event, I remember she's just kind of going around like spreading the mist. She's like fertilizing the place.
Are you saying that Rise of the Sentinels had a missed opportunity, Mark?
A missed opportunity.
You both fucking did the same goddamn
great joke.
I love that. I love that when that happens.
Me too. I get to hear it from just all angles.
It's great, right? I don't know what the fuck I was saying. Yeah, it's like you said. You really nailed it. That it would be so much more better if if that's what her role had been for Viego, rather than like spreading the mist. That's something Hecarim can do, but she's able to kind of find high priority targets and sort of drill into them way better. All right.
And it's nice. I mean, we'll get to see that way more in action in the short story, which is nice. You kind of get to see how that might go down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the short story is nice also because it's not an action piece, but it still is kind of showing the what's actually her power, right? Like, not her league abilities, Yeah, Bio was fine. Like I said, I like the little scene lit at the end, and I like the idea of Vex more than anything. I guess what I'll say too is that, like, you mentioned Vagar, and I do think that she stands nicely separate from Vagar. I think it could have been easy to accidentally sort of overlap them too much. But they're nice and different, I think.
Yeah, the ways they've been corrupted are very different, which is interesting. It's interesting to see how yordles can change based on their surroundings, and I'd like them playing with that more. I think that would be fun.
Yeah. Especially because, like, I don't think we talked about it, but the whole thing with Vex too is that there's something that every yordle has. It's called the yordle spirit that like makes them happy all the time, and Vex just doesn't have it, and everyone's like, "Oh, you'll get it. It'll happen eventually," and it just never ended up happening for her. So she doesn't have that thing that makes you fundamentally a yordle. It's like she was just kind of born without it, as opposed to Vhagar, who kind of had it stripped from him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. Well, it's okay. We don't, she just needs to read Leo the Late Bloomer, and it'll be okay. It's a book about kids who are late bloomers.
Did you get that one, Mark? Did you have to? Your parents
I think
give you that one?
No, I think it ended up in our collection just kind of randomly, as many books do. Just
God, are you there? It's me, Vex.
Who would it be though? Who would be God?
Asol.
Are you there, Hecarim? Well, when I was in my Vex stage, I read Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, so I think Vex would prefer that.
Oh, God, me too.
That's what's up right there. This is fucking wacky.
What a fucking cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to do the short story? How y'all feeling?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. It's called The Meaning in Misery. Is that right?
Yes, definitely an emo song somewhere, right?
It's gotta be.
Yeah, it needs like two or three. It needs to be like a full sentence, right?
Oh yeah, the meaning in misery is, oh god.
There's a good
something
reading
sweetheart.
there.
I don't know.
There's a good reading. This meaning has misery, but
yeah.
I like the sweetheart. The meaning in misery is my lost cut heart or something.
Oh man,
by Panic!
I'm liking it. Yeah, right. But yeah, so it's like a normal day on the Shadow Isles for Vex, where she's playing hide and seek. They didn't give a name for it. It's kind of like Wake the Dead from like Addams Family, where she's playing with all the ghouls, and they want to go play hide and seek. And she'll be the grave digger, which is like who's it, and all the ghouls go die, aka go and hide around in the mist. When another yordle kind of starts, pops up and kind of trumps up to her, and it's her uncle Milty. Is it Milty, right? It's not Wilty. For some reason I kept wanting to say Wilty.
It's Milty, yeah.
Milty. He's not Wilty because he's so full of pep and happy. And Uncle Milty is here to find his small fry Vex. And he's here because he has to talk to her about her parents, and they are just miserable without her. I think it is that essentially she's here in this dark, gloomy place, and he wants her to come back and just say hi to your parents. Just come let them know that you're okay, right? And she doesn't want to, obviously, but he's kind of insistent. He's like, well, I know what'll solve this, and he kind of a little yordle portal, and he starts kind of like essentially just take her with him anyways. Like, we just pop in real quick and we'll go say hi. And then Vex kind of like dissipates it, and he'll kind of he can't be deterred, right? And eventually Vex is like, I know how to solve this.
I've not heard that one either.
He can't be deterred?
Oh my god, I thought you said he can't beat a turd. Is what I was like, is this another Texas saying?
It should be. Well, can't beat a turd. I don't know what it means, but I guess it's just something's really shitty.
Love that.
Can't join him.
Okay. Anyway, sorry.
He can't be swayed. Yeah. But Vex kind of comes up with a brilliant solution, which is that she's just going to make him really fucking depressed, and she starts kind of like talking to him about like, what's the point of it all? What's the point of life? At the end of the day, everything that's happy is eventually going to fade and die, and that's the most it will spend its time doing. It will be around for a little bit. For the bulk of it, it's just dead. And Milty is kind of slowly starting to kind of wilt, I guess. Kind of like, I guess I never thought about it that way. And she's really driving it into him. She's like, and on top of that, when you think about it, yordles, we don't even get to do that because we're stuck being alive forever. Sucks, doesn't it? he essentially eventually just runs off crying because she made him so sad. She's like, well, that problem's solved. Let's play hide and seek. And that's where the story kind of leaves there.
It had big Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy vibes with Mel talking to that that other compute, like the really depressed robot talking to the computer.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah.
At the end.
You're totally right. I completely forgot about that. You're totally right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I like that it's not her using all of her abilities to do whatever. It's just her making someone so sad that they fuck off and stop bugging her.
Yeah, it's more fitting for her, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I like that the very beginning is, it was midday on the island, and Vex was just emerging from her previous night's sleep. Same girl.
Yeah,
Same.
that's John.
It is very teenager. I do kind of like it.
Now, question, if yordles never die, how do they grow old? How long will it take Vex to grow out of this phase of her life and appreciate her darn parents?
It's not a phase. This is who she is now.
This is me now.
And how are new yordles born? Are we going to find out in
we
Bandle
still
Tale?
don't know that. Oh man, I
think...
really hope we find out in Bandle Tale.
Are we going to get some Bandle Tale? In Bandle Tale?
Ooh, oh, I like it.
Done.
Oh.
Done.
I didn't think we... I like it. Really caught me off guard there. Maybe they
that
grow
will be
like cabbages.
the porn game version,
right?
Bandle Tale.
Ooh. Don't give them ideas.
They don't need them.
Yeah, that's true. It's a good question. I don't know. I assume it's like a Phoenix situation where like a yordle gets so old that they eventually like pop into a big bundle of fur, and then there's a little baby yordle left, and they I don't know. It's like, whoa, well, here we go again. That's I don't know. That feels
they go
right
up
to
in
me.
the mothership and they come back and they're just a new
That's
yordle.
true. The spaceship has to be involved.
Mothership, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, mothership.
Like...
Maybe they just fuck and give birth. I don't know. Maybe. Have to be so detailed.
We're gonna find out.
Parents. I'm sorry.
I mean,
the
obviously
impropriety
Timo
of it
fucks.
all.
Like, we know that.
Oh yeah, Timo definitely fucks.
Yeah, but he doesn't know what sex is. That's the thing.
It's really confusing for him.
They don't call him a Swift Scout for nothing.
I mean, size doesn't mean everything, right? Like,
he says 2, 3, 4, and then it's over.
he tips his cap and he's on his way.
He
presses W and he...
Yeah.
God damn.
Shit.
So Rise of the Sentinel?
Sure, yeah.
You know what?
Any other thoughts on the story?
I would rather talk about Rise of the Sentinels than keep going with this conversation
I don't know.
right now.
So I'll just cover the Vex part.
Sure.
There's a lot to this story. We don't
so
care
much.
about it.
Vex is barely in it, so I love this
yeah.
for us.
So we first meet Vex after Viego collapses his first building on the Sentinels. Thresh has fallen out of favor with him, and he's got a new bestie now who spreads shadows and shit.
Damn.
Next, she's fighting Olaf in the Freljord. She's straight up about to kill him when the group shows up. Olaf is pissed. It's like, come on, it was finally gonna happen, y'all. So they chase Vex all around, and finally they find her securing an artifact. They try to fight her, but they can't even make it past her shadow. It's embarrassing for them, really. Then the group pisses off Olaf so that he rages, and they finally make it past the shadow, and they cut off her escape with an avalanche. But then she just kind of slows them down with a cloud of sadness and gets away, which was apparently going to be one of her moves. So I feel like they wrote this part of the story.
Oh, really?
Before they changed her kit and then just never went back to it.
Kind of close to her E, I guess.
I guess I assumed it was like an EW type situation. Who knows?
Yeah, she used to be able to create an aura around her that any projectile that came inside of it would just go super, super slow.
Oh,
that's kind of cool.
That is. So it's like easier to dodge. I'd still fucking get hit by it. God damn. I'm kind of glad
you would just like walk into it, right?
Yeah. Classic.
So let's see. Next, the group encounters Vex and Piltover and Zahn when they're hunting for Graves' fetter, who's also there. Ade and Des hold her off, who are some other Sentinels, while the group finds Graves. But when they get back, she's beaten them, and she takes the fetter. The group tells her at this point that Viego's going to revive his wife with the fetters. She confronts Viego about this, and Viego's like, yeah, you got me. So Vex is about to dip, but Viego's like, I still have something dark in store for you. So she's like, all right. And then finally, in the Shadow Isles, Viego has Vex conjure a dark portal to Camavor, and he takes all the fetters through it, along with Senna, Gwen, and the Maiden. And then after they defeat Viego, Vex opens the portal back for them, since with Viego gone, she's got no beef with him. She's like, all right, you can go back now. He's gone, whatever. I don't give a shit. And I feel like one of the things I also feel like we mentioned was, I don't know if up until this point we had any stories where yordles were creating portals. I think they essentially we knew that they had some like port key type shit, so they knew where portals were, but not that they could just conjure them. So we were a little confused, if I remember correctly, as like how the hell she was doing this, because that seemed really powerful, but it seems like her uncle can do it too, so maybe it's just some shit that all yordles can do, and they, I don't know, the Whispering Doodads are making a big ado about nothing, because they could just pop open a portal and leave whenever they wanted.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? I know in Runeterra, like, that's the thing about Yordle cards, is they have, it's like a thing that goes on the cards, the magical portals or whatever. So there's a mechanic with it, but, I mean, it is something that seems to be associated with them, so maybe they're kind of shifting it towards more Yordles can kind of temporarily portal them. I don't know, yeah. I like the port key thing a little more, though, to be honest with you.
Yeah, me too.
Between the two ideas. I don't know. Doesn't she, in the Freljord, doesn't she slide down on her shadow? Like as a sled? At some point? That's the only thing I remember, like, liking.
I think right before they cause the avalanche.
I like that. That's a fun image.
But yeah, that's Viego and that's Vex and the Sentinels of Light, and that's all we're gonna say about that.
That was pretty painless.
That was, yeah.
Yeah.
Now on to some more fun things.
Ooh.
I figured we'd talk about quotes while we're on canon stuff.
Sure.
I put together a little game for you.
John won't tell me what the game was.
Do you have any guesses, Mark?
Vex or...
Normally it's like Vex or... Okay, is it that Vex, or could it be... I forget her character name from Parks and Rec?
It is!
Oh, shit!
Is this Vex or is it April Ludgate?
I love that.
Yeah.
How did I not even think of April Ludgate?
I know, right?
She is very Vex.
Do I just win
you can't
automatically?
Look at my notes, okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay. First up.
I want to see Mark still.
Don't worry about it. I'm not doing anything wild.
I could really use less friends.
I'm going to say April.
Yeah, I'm guessing April.
All right. That one is Vex.
What? She doesn't have any
really?
friends.
I don't think she has any friends.
No, right?
No.
Maybe she wants to go into the negatives.
I'm so bummed because
That's
I've
called
watched
enemies.
so much Parks and Rec and I play Vex, so this is going to be bad.
Okay.
Just give up. I did.
Vex.
I'm gonna guess April. We'll mix it up.
Okay. That one is Vex.
Yes.
Fucking shit.
That's what you get for trying.
I feel like at this point, it can't be Vex 3 times in a row, right? Like, I'm trying to game the system here. I'm gonna stick with April. We gotta have an April quote.
That's what you get for trying.
I'm going to say Vex.
I swear to God, if it's
I'm going to
Vex.
give you both credit for this one. Vex says that's what you get for trying. April said this is what happens when you try.
Okay, I don't think I deserved it, but I'll
April
take
quote
it.
I would have gotten. I remember her saying, "This is what happens when you try."
Damn, I'll
funny.
take it.
I hate talking to people about things.
I think that's April.
I'm gonna go with April too. I feel like I'm only gonna guess
feel
April
like
the whole time.
That one is April.
Yes.
Okay.
The air is so fresh, it's disgusting.
That's April.
I'm gonna
I remember
say
saying
Vex.
that.
Oh, fuck. I'll stick with Vex. Fuck it.
That is April.
I watched a lot of Parks and Rec.
God damn it.
If anyone needs me, I'll be back. I don't know. Whenever.
Vex.
I'm gonna guess Vex. That's like her recall, I'm gonna bet.
That one is Vex.
Oh, that's good. I didn't even think about the recall mark. You're right.
Let's see. Horizons are dumb. Never broaden your horizons.
I'm gonna guess April.
I was gonna say April too.
Okay.
That one is April.
Oh shit! Thank you, Mark. I
Okay.
wasn't positive there.
Look at that tree.
You know me.
So stupid.
Say it again.
Look at that tree. So stupid.
Oh god, Vex.
Is this like a quote towards Maokai? Yeah, I'll go with Vex.
That one is Vex.
Oh shit!
And it's not even towards Maokai. It's just towards nature.
I thought I was wrong for sure.
Everything you're saying is stupid.
I'm gonna say April.
I'll say Vex. We'll mix it up.
That one is April.
Nice, Mark.
Hey.
And then the final one. Life sucks. But at least I'm not you.
Vex.
I think that's Vex.
That one is Vex.
Oh,
Does she say that when she
God.
kills someone? Because I feel like I've heard that before
does,
when I was
yeah.
not playing Vex.
Nice work, y'all.
Very good.
That was a good game. What was your first thought that you wanted to do?
I was actually thinking there, yeah, because this was my second choice.
Oh, okay.
I really thought that there would be more overlap between her quotes and Daria.
Oh yeah.
Daria had
Daria's too
very
pretentious.
specific
Yeah.
high school / pop culture quotes.
Yeah.
Less
Yeah.
generic unhappiness.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Interesting. I will say when I was doing my impression, I was like, I have to channel Daria. That's what I've got to try and think of.
Really Well, thank you, John. That was great.
How did it end up? Was it even? I thought it seemed like it was close. I assume
Didn't keep score.
Rebecca won. Oh, okay. You know
I
what?
thought
Doesn't
y'all
matter.
were doing it.
Yeah.
We're all
It was
winners.
a tie. Everyone wins and loses. But yeah, that's
Canon Vex.
Canon Vex.
Yeah. I guess we could at some point. Maybe we'll go back to Rise of the Sentinels for. Do you think we'll ever go back to it for like a more proper deep dive
I
at
mean, we
all?
got to
Like
do Viego still, so.
fuck.
And
You
Yorick.
know, oh man, there's so much to talk about with Yorick. Yeah. I will say I dread Viego mostly because I think we're gonna have to. That is like, we will have to talk about that a lot.
It's going to be in like
I dread
the whole
Viego for a lot of
series.
reasons.
Yeah.
He's really close. Fuck. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if we do that, or whatever, might be a time to try and look at Vex again. As it is now, I don't know. Like, is there much else? I mean, I guess she has like some AUs. I assume not much though. She don't have a lot of skins.
Yeah, she's got like 2 AUs and some fun facts, basically.
That's fine. We can dig through those.
Yeah. So
He's
first
like
up-
worried about the length of the episode already.
No, I was just like,
Don't worry, we're
I
still
didn't
going
have
to
a
hit
ton
our 45 minutes. It's
Thank fucking Christ. I just didn't have like
our
a ton of feelings
contractually
about.
mandated.
I know. I don't have a lot of feelings about Vex
I think
either.
maybe it makes maybe it leaves me a little disappointed almost because like I love the idea for her character and I love her voice and how she is in game, and I kind of wish that like it was, I don't know, maybe a little more present in like some of her stories. Like I like the idea of the story, but I think maybe some of the way it's written is that.
Yeah,
make
I'd
sense?
like.
I definitely want to see her in other areas of Runeterra outside of Rise of the Sentinels because that doesn't count.
Yeah.
Even though we joked about it, her seeing everyone's best day, which is funny. But even outside of that, I would like to see her interact with bigger yordles who have actually traveled and like know what the world is really like. Because I feel like Vex doesn't know what the world is really like.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
There's so much misery out there. Like, she could have a ball.
Right?
And I feel like, I mean, even Teemo, he's like got that exterior, but like,
right?
He's seen some shit. I bet like he could tell her some stories.
Really sexy stories.
And then it was real awkward, so I just stood there, and eventually she forgot I was around.
So, first up, we
Pexels
got
like 2 skins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Nightbringer and Dawnbringer. Chaos and darkness reign through deities of night, bringing change to a static world locked in conflict with the forces of dawn. Order and light reign through deities of dawn, bringing structure to a nascent world locked in conflict with the forces of night. And this is Dawnbringer Vex. Vex finds order in the day's descent to darkness and spends her evenings watching her shadow chase the sun below the horizon. A preternaturally sour and unenthusiastic god, she finds the whole chaos and order thing very blasé. And then we have cute. Neon Strata. The first Empyrean, Pike, tears through the realms on a destructive rampage against his counterparts, birthing new Empyreans in the process. Who will reign supreme as these new powerhouses emerge, and what will they do with their rapidly dwindling time left? This is Empyrean Vex. Vex didn't need anyone. Growing up alone, she was self-sufficient and annoyed by most people. Her realm's destruction barely made her blink, but her new Empyrean powers did give her an idea. By empowering her own shadow, she finally had a companion she tolerated. Vex may not need anyone, but then again, misery does love company. And we got some fun facts. So Vex is voiced by Jeannie Tirado, who also voices Cythria of Cloudfield in Legends of Runeterra.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And then Vex's release was originally intended to be a narrative beat in the Ruined King storyline, and revealed that she empowered Viego to be able to cause a global ruination, which was outside of his power previously. But the whole thing was delayed because they needed more time for her shadow rendering technology.
Really?
Her goddamn shadow. I couldn't figure it out.
Wow.
Oh, man.
That's interesting. I assumed it was going to be a multitude of other things, not just like we can't get the shadow working.
Fucking shadow, man. And shadow is also, fun fact too, cannot be disabled in game. So when you disable shadows, don't disable that one.
It makes sense. It's like a much more complicated addition to a champion, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, that's true.
Wild.
Vex's original release skin in development was going to be an Unbound skin. And the premise of this skin was that after she faced the Sentinels of Light in the Freljord, she would have gone back to Viego and been empowered by his Black Mist, and would be revealed to be even more powerful when the group met her again in Piltover and Zon. So she was going to be souped up Vex at that point in an Unbound version.
She's like 8 feet tall.
Which, again, would have been pretty fucking cool, but didn't happen.
Why did she turn into Mundo?
She's 8 feet tall.
I guess I don't know. That's why, man, like the more you get into it, the more it's like, wow, they were like, shit was fucked up. Like,
they had some ideas.
He's gonna do this and do this, and none of it happened the way it was supposed to happen. Holy shit!
Those storyboarding phases must have been hype as hell. Like, oh shit, and then we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do this. And
yeah,
I'm imagining, as disappointed as we all were with Sentinels, man, the fucking rioters who had storyboarded this shit must have been way more disappointed.
You know, that's a really mature perspective to have on the whole thing. That makes me feel bad for like dumping on it so hard. Like it was bad, but it's like and I'm sure they know it and they probably feel it more even than we do. So
yeah,
it's okay. We like Vex still.
Vex's original subclass was going to be an artillery mage, but she was shifted towards a more traditional mage due to her gameplay hook working better at medium range. Which essentially, like, the reasoning they gave was a lot of her kit was kind of the same, and her kit is very much anti-mobility.
Yeah.
And artillery mages, one weakness is that they can be gap closed by, movement. And you're like, well, artillery mages only have this one weakness, and then we made her kit specifically to counter this one weakness, so that's going to feel bad to play against. So now she's mid-range. Her code name in development was Elin, or I don't know how to pronounce that. Elin? I'm sorry if you're listening.
Elan.
But that was her editor and the person who kind of originally ideated the idea of the emo yordle in the first place. One of the scrap spells, which is one we talked about, would let people dramatically slow down missile speeds. And they got as far as the testing on that one too. And they said it was very fun slowing down like, an Ashe ult or like an Ezreal ult to a crawl. But ultimately there were, again, too many kind of technical issues to work through on that one. So it didn't end up making the cut. But
that's a lot of skill shots you have to think about.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Let's see. Despite having a direct relation and interactions with Viego, Vex is one of the few Shadowisle champions that has absolutely no relation to the origin of the Black Mist or the Ruination.
That's true when you think about it.
Yeah. Just tagged along at the end like, oh, this is cool as hell while everyone's freaking suffering.
I hate this.
That's what they all sound like. All the betrayal and heartache. I hate this. This is sticky poopy pants.
Mondays, am I right? Vex was the third of 3 champions released in 2021, specifically tied to Viego's return and a continuation of the Ruined King story.
Wow.
Yeah.
Vex's laugh animation references the laughing SpongeBob meme. It's specifically her shadow. Her shadow's behind her doing the type meme face.
I'll have to look at it.
Oh, okay. I think I can picture it. Yeah, I don't remember what her animation looks like.
And finally, in the Portuguese localization, awesome. I mean, whatever, is replaced by the Portuguese version that translates to "fuck yeah." I mean, whatever.
Oh, I'd love a fuck yeah.
Just one.
Just one, you know? Get that T rating.
Right? It's PG-13. Right. We can have one fuck.
Who was it that had... Oh, it was Varys, who had the 2 fucks in his old lore.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Fuck.
You know what? In hindsight, I think it's better without it. I don't know.
I don't know. Everything's better with a fuck or two.
Timo.
Michael Scott. Timo.
Man.
That's Vex.
That's Vex.
That's Vex.
How's everyone doing? This is a short one.
I know. We gotta live it up because what do we have next week, Vi?
Yeah, way to fucking ruin the ending. The only thing that I get to do in this
one
podcast.
Job on this.
My one fucking job in this podcast.
You have so many jobs.
I don't take notes.
Right.
But you still give synopses.
I only read the canon stuff.
You edit the episodes. That's an important job.
Yeah, you can edit this out. It never even happened.
That's true. I won't, but, because I'll be playing ARAMs. No. There are times when I'm just standing in the ARAM that I'm playing because I had to alt-tab out to do something while editing real quick.
God damn it, it's that John swallowing again. Come on.
Basically.
Him and his bananas, I swear to Christ.
Well, our daughter's still awake, so maybe we should go tend her. It was a good thing it was a short one. That was Vex. Thank you for listening. We have a Twitch, twitch.tv/loreheads. John streams on Saturdays. He does TFT and ARAMs with viewers. He's very good at TFT. you know, if you want to learn a thing or two about a thing or two. Although apparently in his last stream, he played like ass, so I don't know. Oh
my god, I played so bad in that last stream. Every time that one didn't happen.
That's okay.
Still Diamond 3, guys.
Yeah.
We also have a YouTube. We post videos there and clips, and John has some really fun parody songs. Maybe we'll have an epic yordle, you know, Moulin Rouge style.
Collab. Ooh, yeah.
Collab.
Maybe. That one seems hard. That
probably
won't happen.
To be really inspired for it.
We're still going to get that Malphite bad to the stone.
That's in there. Yeah.
We have a Patreon. We recently talked about the actual game, Song of Nuno, and what we thought about the game itself outside of the lore. And we have a video where we tried to draw champions and skins from memory, which was just terrible. We have some more things planned for February. So, pop on over to Patreon if you want to check that out. Thank you so much to all of our patrons.
But a very special thank you to our Medarda tier patrons. King of Hearts, Big Man Gnomes, Mr. Dead, and John Has a Dig Bick. If Vex were here trying to make you miserable, I would instead remind you of all the great things in the world, like puppies and rainbows, so you could resist her sadness.
Beautiful.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And be sure to join us next week. Do you know her title, John?
The
Vi?
Enforcer?
The Piltover Enforcer?
The Piltover Enforcer. Mark, gotcha.
That was half right.
Anyway, that's what
I
we're
get a
talking about
halfie.
next. Oh, God. Bye. Timo.